Dota 2 just received its most needed and anticipated update of all time, and most players didn't even notice.
I give a fuck what you heard. You say that you poppin', but I ain't heard of any beat.
Because it wasn't Valve adding new game assets or creating new flashy cosmetics. Okay, it was some of that. But it's mostly attributed to them applying a simple formula to players' most sacred number.
My MMR, this one.
In a second now, I will tell you exactly how they did it, why it matters so much, and why, even if you personally didn't feel the update, you should celebrate it. But first, let's check out them new game assets. What we got here is the International Fantasy and Predictions update. It functions pretty much like last year. You make your dream roster for the tournament, predict the group stage and the TI winner. All of those will earn you points, and depending on how many points you have, you'll be granted these rewards. As long as you don't forget to put in your predictions, or if you don't know what to put here, you can just steal someone else's. In any case, you should end up in roundabout 95th percentile, which will grant you 2 tokens for a monthly Dota Plus subscription that can be applied at any time, 1 terrain token that allows you to choose terrain. See, this is not bad, but my intonation implied otherwise. And that's because last year we had an ability to choose any purchasable arcana. Well, I guess one arcana completely satisfied players' hunger for good cosmetics, especially of the ones that missed the whole thing. And this year, ladies and gentlemen, rat's ass, quintupled. I am gonna give you a little trick. Before you claim any of these, you can fully test them out in a real game. All you have to do is equip a default terrain, queue up, and run Cyberpunk in the background. Same effect, really. What else? You get a 50% discount on the physical Aegis, and an ability to choose one of these 5 purple Immortals. Aiming for the Drow here. Now claimable are TI wallpapers, an emoji, and voice of the international chat wheel, which is the same as last year's.
Well played.
Team and talent bundles you can explore on your own time, but I will say this, the design is very nice. We also got a pre-TI patch, 741E. I will make a review once the win rates settle, but it should be just a balancing patch. Don't expect any imbas around here. Finally, the great MMR cleansing. If you noticed the change in your rating, you should also have noticed a little something in your inbox. Reading, Immortal rank players have had their MMR readjusted. Your position on the leaderboard has not been affected. And the more MMR you had, the more readjusted it became. For example, we know that Quinn went from 16.5 thousand MMR to merely 9k. That's 7,500 MMR down the drain. But immediately, I know that I had 9.8 on this account, and I only lost about 3,000. This points to something called a linear compression, also known as a soft MMR reset. If you remember back in the day, we used to have a seasonal ranked. That was a hard MMR reset. Soft resets only affect higher rated players, and its goal wasn't to put smurfs or account buyers where they belong. That would be a byproduct. Its primary goal was to squish players together so that games finally matter again. Applying this formula to Satanic, that just recently hit 18,000 MMR, well, that would readjust him right next to Quinn, just 500 MMR higher. You can also now spectate high-ranked games since the Immortal draft cap remained at 8.5k. Nice. So why does this matter? Well, for a higher end player, this creates an incentive to play. They're now practically doubling down every single match. They can no longer grieve 20 games in a row and see absolutely no repercussions. And winning now matters too, as you can climb the ladder faster than ever before. To put this in perspective, for me to reach rank 1 on the European server today, I will need to win 104 consecutive games. But before the update, I would have had to win 328 games in a row. That was one line of code. I guess now you can see why people ask for this. That actually brings us to my final point. Why does it matter to every player, whether they have an Immortal rank or not? The answer is really simple. For a lot of people, the goal in this game was to achieve the highest rank. And for people with a numbered rank, the goal was to get the highest numbered rank that they could. The problem was, ranked Immortal was sitting at 5.6 thousand MMR, and a numbered rank started at 8.6 thousand. It was a gigantic pit of tryhards, people that are trying to be pro right next to griefers, creatures that gave up on the game and don't care anymore. It felt like an infinite staircase filled with slurs, rage bait, and booby traps. Now everything is to lose. Now you will think twice before using buyback or trolling 10 games in a row. But also, there's everything to gain. There's a point in trying, there's a point in improving. There's a chance, not just to be the best or to say you're the best, but to back it up with your rank. I'm looking at you, Arthur.
Come on, man.